Hello students, in this module we are going to learn about canal irrigation in India. Let us begin. Now we'll learn about the means of irrigation. So children, this is about India, the different means of irrigation. So the types of irrigation, the means of irrigation we use in India are canal irrigation, tank irrigation and well irrigation. Canals are of two types, inundation canals and perennial canals. Well irrigation are of two types, surface or subsurface and tube well irrigation. So this is the general structure of the means of irrigation in India. See students, there are several other modern means which are not used very most frequently, but they are also now being used in India, like sprinkler irrigation and other modes of irrigation, which we will discuss later in the chapter. But these means of irrigation are the most common means used all over the country, especially for growing crops in the dry season in dry areas. So now let's move and see the map. This is the map also given in your book. So here is the legend, the index given, that the pink color shows the area under tank irrigation. The green color indicate the area in India under canal irrigation. So now children, see, pink you will specially find in the area which are rocky plateau region. Just now I told you the South India is a plateau and it's very much suitable because they have natural hollows or depression which is filled by rainwater during monsoon. So in South India you will see tank irrigation is much prevalent. Whereas in North India you will see canal irrigation is much prevalent because I told you the soil is soft and it is easy to dig the land to make canals. Now the next one is well irrigation. The dots, you will see most part of India where rainfall is good, there they depend on well irrigation. And you know what, a construction of well is very economical, means not very expensive. So it is very easy to make a well and to get water. Even in the dry areas of Rajasthan and Gujarat you will find well irrigation and tube well irrigation. Now what is a tube well? With the help of a motor, the water is being pulled from under the ground. Now students will start with the canal irrigation, the first mode of irrigation and the most common in India. So they are big water channels. The canals are big water channel taken out from rivers to divert the water far away from the river. So what is done, if from a big river a channel is cut out and it is diverted, means the river water is diverted to the direction which is desired, means to the direction of the agricultural field. So it's easy for the farmers to get water from the canal, and the canals are of two types, inundation and perennial canal. Now children, this is a map of canal irrigation in India. So these are the two types of canals, inundation canals and perennial canals. Now let us learn about them. Inundation canals, you can read the definition from here. I'll just explain. Listen to me carefully. Inundation canals, these canals do not have water throughout the year. They only have water when the river is flooded. Means during rainy season when there is very heavy rainfall, the river gets flooded and the extra water is diverted to such canals. So these canals have water during rainy season. Now you will ask me then, ma'am, if it is not providing water in dry season, what is the use of such canal? You know what? These canals prevent flood. So they help a lot in controlling flood. So this is a big contribution. And the second contribution is that in the rainy season also, when the water is full in these canals, the farmers can easily get water because these canals are definitely built close to the agricultural field. So like this is all about inundation canals. Perennial canals, the name itself says they have water throughout the year because the word is perennial. So these canals can be constructed where the river have water in them throughout the year, and perennial canals are lined to dam and barrages They are connected to dams and barrages to provide water throughout the year. So these canals are connected with a dam because dam channelize the water of a river, and the dam releases water in the canal and through perennial canal. This is the picture I have just put for you to understand about the perennial irrigation. So as you can see, these channels have water throughout the year. This is about inundation irrigation. I will bring the camera closer so that you can understand. See, these channels, they don't have water throughout the year but in the rainy season. I hope this is clear. So, types of canal, children, I have written certain questions for better understanding. Why are perennial canals preferred over inundation canal? So, the answer is clear. The perennial canals have water throughout the year. So, definitely they are preferred more than the inundation canals. Now, let's come to the advantages of canals. Water is provided throughout the year, especially by the perennial canals. Large area can be irrigated. As you know, the canals are actually cut out from the river and they divert the water. So, from wherever they are passing, they can provide water. So, large area can be irrigated. No doubt, children, it's expensive to construct a canal, but the benefits are larger than the money spent. So, we can count it as an advantage of canal that it irrigates large area. Now, inundation canal controls flood. This is a very big advantage because floods are very devastating and they cause a lot of destruction. So, if a canal is controlling flood, it's a big blessing and an advantage. Now, come to the disadvantages. Construction is costly. Sometimes fields are over flooded due to excessive water in the canal. So, it might happen in case of inundation canals that due to excessive water, the fields are over flooded. This can also create problem and harm to the crops. But it is not very common, but it happens sometimes. Overflooding leads to salt effervescence, which leads to infertility of the soil. This means when there is for a long time, if water remains collected or accumulated over agricultural field, then the water will go inside in the pores of the soil and the salt will come out, and this will increase the salinity of the soil and the soil will become infertile. This is the meaning of salt effervescence. Now, the last point in disadvantage, waterlogging renders fertile area along the canal unfit for farming. As I told you, due to salt effervescence means the salt from within the soil will come and settle over the surface. So, this salt will make the land unfit for farming. Land can also become marshy and there can be too much of water, and if there is too much of moisture in the soil, that soil is again unfit for farming. So, canal irrigation is more suitable in northern India as compared to southern India. Children, this can be a question also, very important question. So, you mark this question that why canal irrigation is more suitable in northern India than southern India. We have already discussed the answer. Let us discuss once again. In North India, most of the rivers are perennial because the source of these rivers are the glaciers of the Himalayas. Now, when the glaciers melt, they provide water to the river and the water remains throughout the year. And therefore, the canals which are cut out from these rivers, they also have water throughout the year. The second reason is North India, it's a flat land, low land, and the soil is soft, so canals can be constructed easily. And whereas in South India, the rivers are seasonal, they dry up in the non-rainy season. So, it's not very favorable to make canals in the southern part of India. So, like this, we prefer canal irrigation in North India more than in South India. Now, children, one question is there, which state has the highest area under canal irrigation in India? So, the answer is Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is in North India. So, it is the state which mostly depends on canal irrigation. apart from Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab and Bihar. Thank you students. That's all in this module.